Welcome today to Matt's Casual Cooking. We will be making pizza pinwheels today. A very simple dish that you can make anytime. Take you less than 30 minutes overall to make. Um, I'll go ahead and go over all the ingredients and how to make it here in just a minute, and let's get to it. Alright, so now we're going to go over all the ingredients you're going to need and actually how to make it. So first you're going to need a nice surface to actually put this on because we're going to use flour. So what I have in front of us is actually plexiglass, and I really like to use this as a good surface. You can get it at any really hardware store on the cheap. You don't need to get a very expensive one. You're going to need a rolling pin. I'm using a French rolling pin, and the French rolling pins don't have handles. It's just a piece of wood, and the ends kind of slope down, kind of almost into a rod. You're also going to need 1 can of pizza dough, a 13.8 ounce one, and they usually sell these in the store as 13.8 ounce. You're going to need flour, no specified amount. You're going to need 16 ounces of cheese, and that's actually going to be cut into strips. It's not actually going to be shredded. Now you can shred it if you want to for this, but today we are going to just cut it into slices. You're going to need 1 6-ounce pack of pepperoni, and then you're going to want 5 ounces of Parmesan cheese. You can either get that shredded or in like the little dusting that comes in usually in containers. And I'm also going to use 10 ounces of salami today as well. So, all right, we'll get to it here. And first thing you want to do on your surface is you just want to lay out some flour. All right, so as you can see, we have the pizza dough out. So what you want to do now is you want to go ahead and just kind of put some flour out. You don't need to overdo it. Just kind of put a little layer down. All right, that's good enough. Kind of maybe a little bit much, but that's fine. And then what you want to do is just go ahead and get the dough on it, kind of get both sides with a little flour on it. And what you want to do is just take your rolling pin, kind of just press it out. So what you want to do here is just kind of, you can see I'm just kind of rolling it. Kind of like what you want to do is kind of roll it a little bit. So kind of flip it over. And we got a little extra flour here. We'll just kind of set that aside. So what we're looking for on this is about a 10 by 16 inch. Now what you can do is you can get out a actual measuring tape for this if you so choose, or you can just kind of eyeball it to where you want it, but you don't really want any like big kind of clumps of dough anywhere, so just kind of roll it out. Just kind of get a nice thin layer of it. Alright, so as you can see, our dough is spread out very nicely. It's rolled out in a mostly rectangular pattern. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take spaghetti sauce and put it out there, kind of spread it around. You don't really want it clumping in any one spot. Just kind of don't put it edge to edge, just kind of leave a little bit of room at the ends there so when we fold it later, it'll be fine. All right, so now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to layer the cheese and pepperoni. So what you want to grab first is your cheese. Okay, so now first you want to grab your cheese, and what I meant earlier by them being cut into slices, kind of like this, just kind of sideways, just take the brick and kind of cut it like this, and you'll see why here in a second. So what we want to do is we want to just put a layer of cheese here, just kind of put it there, just like this, and at the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just put a layer of pepperoni, just kind of put a couple of pepperoni there, just kind of lay it down, doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do cheese again. And then you're going to want to do your salami. Alright, and that's going to be your layers until you are out of cheese. You might have some extra pepperoni and salami left over, but that's fine. So we're just going to go through this. And then when we're done, I'll show you the next step. Alright, so as you can see, we have finished layering the cheese, pepperoni, and salami. So what we're going to need to do now is we're just going to sprinkle on the Parmesan cheese. Kind of sprinkle it and get a nice layer. Now you don't have to use all the cheese. Just kind of get a nice layer. If you do end up using all of it, if you want to, be my guest. Go ahead and smooth some of that out. Alright, so now we're actually going to roll the pizza dough, or pizza dough in on itself, and then we're going to cut it up and we're going to get ready to cook. So what you want to do, just take the end where the cheese starts, and just slowly kind of roll it. All right, kind of put it out like this. So now what you want to do before we do anything else is you want to get out a baking sheet, at least medium to large size, and then or you want to get out a 9x13 baking pan, and we're going to go ahead and spray those with some cooking spray. Would you get the cooking spray out? Alright, so now that we have this rolled up, go ahead and get out a good knife with a straight edge. What we're going to do is we're going to cut these into about half-inch pieces. You can do a little bit more if you like. Starting at the end, just kind of cut straight down. There's a little, you have to cut through a couple things. You're going to have some parts kind of fall out. That's kind of to be expected. go ahead and take them, and parts that fall out, if you want, you can just kind of put back into the piece. And use two hands if you need to, and just might have to pull some of them apart. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and preheat our oven to 400 degrees. But also while we're doing that, what we want to do is just kind of take a spatula and kind of push them down a little bit, kind of flatten them out a little bit. It will kind of cook, kind of space them out it still if you need to a little bit. Just kind of push them down, push them down. Just kind of help them bake a little bit better. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to cook them for about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll set our timer to 10, and if they need a little bit more, we'll go ahead and do that. So, all right, be back right when we're done. All right, so as you can see, the pizza pinwheels are done. The pizza dough is turned nice and crunchy and brown. If you enjoyed this treat, go ahead, please like, subscribe, and comment below if your taste buds and your stomach enjoyed. All right, please have a good rest of your day and see you later.